Okay, part two of the 64 truck project. I've been just working on the front end, the frame and such. I'll just do a quick update. I've cut out some of the original, or the bracketry that was added to it to put the Jag front end in the vehicle, and with the intention of getting the ride height lower. The original bracketry was designed so that the original ride height of the truck was to remain, but this time round she's headed south towards the ground, and see how far I can get it. See if I can get a lower ride height for this thing, which it's lost a fair bit of height already. So I'll work on that. Yeah, I'll just have a quick look at the frame. Yeah, all that, I've chopped a lot of that stuff out, and just yeah, knock those shock towers off the top. There's a welded section on the inside of the frame that needs to come out, but yeah, this side's done. So yeah, so now I've just got to start getting some work out where this front end's going to sit, to keep it centered in the wheel arches and stuff like that. And yeah, so just started that, and just starting to work out where the center of the frame is, and on these bits of tape here, and so I can get a true center line down the chassis, and then once I do that I can put the laser on it and basically work to the chassis rails, and have this thing perfectly true and straight when the front end goes in, so, or when the final position goes in. So yeah, but yeah, so far so good. Yeah, the top bushes are flogged out, I'll get sorted. Yeah, just trim's been stripped out. Just looking at things. That hole in the floor, that's not an original hole, but the original hole is just forward of that. Basically, probably about where that disc is, so I'll be probably putting that hole back in it for the shifter. Handbrake's gonna say bye-byes, and yeah, so that's about all for the truck so far. What I have been doing, it's just a block I've been measuring stuff up with, and here's some of the stuff I've chopped out. These are the engine mounts off the chassis rails. As you can see, pretty strong stuff, but I'll come up with something different. These were the shock towers. These sections were off the frame for the front mount. So yeah, that all got chopped out, and I'll re-engineer that stuff, different style. But yeah, now I've been working on some other stuff. Basically this, that is a T256 gearbox, married to a Ford top loader scatter shield. And what I've done here is I've utilised the late model Tremec T660 shifter. I've made an adapter under that. That shift rod will go forward. That's the original piece, but I'll remake something in steel. And what will happen is I'll have a bracket up here somewhere, and what that bolt represents is the shift lever that'll sit up here somewhere, and what will happen is the shift will be forward and the shift will come through that original factory hole. So when you do look in the truck, you'll just see a dodgy old shift handle hanging out of under the dash, like pretty much like they were factory, but this thing will have 6 gears attached to it. So originality thing, but anyway, it's different and probably no one else has done it. But anyway, that's what's happening. Pretty much this here is the that's the original shift from the Tremec. That black plasticky thing is a bearing around a sphere, and that basically in its original thing that would mount like that. And but as you can see, I can extend that further up. I can use this pivot to be that pivot, and also to being like this, I can adjust the shift throw up, and I can adjust the shift lever length and all sorts of stuff with it. So I can adjust the position of its final piece. And normally this is the, I think it goes like this, but this would run off the back of the original T660 box in its factory fit, but in this case it's going forward to the old style. Anyway, so yeah, so that's the bell housing. A lot of work. It's been converted to left-hand start. There's an adapter plug. There's a 1/2-inch aluminium adapter I've made up there. Originally, I designed this adapter to go straight to a 4-speed Ford bell housing, and I looked at it and I thought for a little bit extra time, I could add these bits of. I've machined up some bright round bar, and I've threaded them. And what I've done, I've bored holes in the bell housing and welded them in, sorted them all out. So basically, the Tremec now, it's using every bolt in the Tremec gearbox is going through to the bell housing. So pretty much it should be as strong as an original type thing. Being steel, if anything wants to come apart, it shouldn't chop my feet off. This is the inside of the bell housing. As you can see there, the ends of the pieces I've welded in, and that centerpiece there, that I've machined that up to potentially run with a with like that style of hydraulic clutch throw out, but that's the factory Ford piece. It's plastic. Everyone says they're junk. So anyway, I had a rethink about that. That adapter will come out. Basically what will happen now is I'll be using something like this. This is a Howe hydraulic clutch bearing. So I'll be using that, and that's basically the factory type bearing retainer snout. And what I'll do is I'll probably machine one of those up to use the Chev down to a Chev size. So that will fit on that completely. Go over it, and yeah, we'll have a reliable hydraulic clutch setup that should last for quite some time, probably a lot longer than the plastic piece. And here's an original steel scatter shield. That's just your generic top loader steel scatter shield. As you can see, this one, mine's a little bit different. Just sit that there. As you can see, the left-hand start, as opposed to the left hand side as opposed to the right hand start. Helps a lot with steering linkage, clearance. Go a little bit wilder with the headers and stuff like that, a little bit better shape to the headers and stuff. So anyway, so that's what it was, and that's what it is. So anyway, like you say, down, you can see on down this side here where the starter and all that used to hang on this one, should be fine. Free and clear on the left hand side, right hand side for the steering winch is all wonderful. So yeah, so that's that part of the deal. Yeah, so 256 for the truck. Now that's a dummy gearbox, just for fitting purpose and stuff. This is the real deal. Anyway, this is actually a Borg Warner box. It's a 256 Borg Warner box. It's out of the Camaro, actually originally out of an LT1 type Camaro car, and factory fitted. It came with the short input shaft. I think, I'm not sure, about 5.4 or something long, and anyway, too short to do anything with. I think Fords run at about 6. Fords are about 6 1/4 or something like that. Anyway, so, and then next to it there is that's the LS1 type input. Pretty good, getting close. Probably could have worked with that, but at the time when I built all this stuff, basically I went with the shaft on the left, and as you can see from the diameter, much stronger Dodge Viper shaft. So anyway, very high torque rating, all the rest of it. Yeah, it should be plenty strong. The pilot bearing's a different diameter, but I've machined up a original Ford one to take the bigger bearing. And yeah, so there's your 3 input shafts for your 256, your LT1, your LS1, and then your Dodge Viper for your 256. So anyway, so they'll be getting the Dodge Viper input, and there, as you can see at the back of the gearbox, there it is. There's the reluctor wheel in there. So what I'll be doing with that is I'll be putting a sensor in there, and a Hall effect type sensor to run an electronic speedo. I'll have to make a bung for that, and I'll transfer all my shifter stuff over to this box. And yeah, there's a quick look inside. There's a synchro should be sitting in there. But anyway, there's a box inside. Yeah, she's pretty clean. So there's that's the original front plate with the pull type clutch mechanism. I actually machined the center of that adapter, is actually machined to sit around that nice and tight, and but yeah, front plate, and there we go. 256. I think it's what's this one? I think it's a 0.5 top gear, 0.76 fifth gear, and then it's the close ratio cluster before that. So yeah, that's what's happening so far. 256 for the truck. Yeah, selection of input shafts. Been busy with the bellhousing, and once I get that, once I get the cross member mounted properly where it's going to go, then I can do the engine mounts, and then I can do put the block in there, gearbox, cross members, tail shaft lengths, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, once I get that front end sorted, this thing's pretty much ready to go in for trial fit, and yeah, it should be interesting. So yeah, dusty old truck with a 6-speed. Anyway, that should do for an update for part 2 of the 64 truck project. Old Faithful sits there patiently waiting for some attention, but it will get some soon. I've been kind of busy with other things, and but moving on. Like I said, trying to get this thing happening fast, and there's the gearbox and the bellhousing done, and I'll do the frame next and sort out the front end, and yeah, we'll see what happens for part 3. Anyway, cheers.